On the day inside me under the floor. Hi viewers, good evening. Okay, so we're gonna start, but we're gonna still be expecting people to join us. Good evening, my name is Ruth Haruna and I am the founder of Oasis Youth Initiative. We started the Parenting Beyond Words show when the COVID-19 lockdown commenced due to lots and lots of demands and requests from parents, who were asking a lot of questions, and we decided we needed to keep sending out information. Even if you don't come on live watching us during this show, you could replay on Facebook or on YouTube and watch at your own convenient time. So, my people, how are we doing? How the children? So for us in Lagos, it's been 3 long months. We've been at home. And as I always say, every day is Saturday now, guys. Every day is Saturday because we get to stay with our children 24 hours, Monday to Sunday, and we are always with our children. But we do not forget the benefits of spending time as family. A lot of us were busy before now, but now that lockdown has come and there's necessity for staying indoors, we have got the opportunity to spend time with our children and our spouses. And for that, we are grateful. And we pray for healing for those who are mourning, losing family. We pray for healing for all of us who are struggling with anxiety and fear, with lots of uncertainties in our world today. We believe that God is going to heal this nation and God is going to heal the world over. So thank you once again for joining us. And today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. So as I said to our viewers, today is my birthday. Yay! I'm a year older today. So today I decided to dedicate this day to celebrate my mom, who was a career woman and a mother. She was more than 50% a primary caregiver, okay? So she was the one who took care of us for a very long time. My dad was a politician. He was almost always out of the home. So because of that, I felt that it's important for us to celebrate such women and for us to talk about how women like us have been juggling career and parenting or motherhood. So today we're going to be inviting our special guest. She is a sister and a friend to me, and I am so honored and humbled to have her on board. So I'm bringing into the studio my beautiful, quintessential Angela Otubai. Hi, sweetie.
Hi, Ruth. How are you?
Please,
Oh my goodness.
I'm
You
good.
you have transformed your hair. You're blonde right now. Looking beautiful. Happy birthday. It's good to
Thank
see you and
you.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me on board. This is amazing. Thank you.
I'm so, so grateful and
Welcome.
excited. Well, we're going
Yay.
to talk about everything that happened before we got you to sit down in
Uh,
front of this camera.
oh my God.
You're a busy woman, Angela. Please tell us
Honestly.
about yourself. What do? You are into lots of endeavors, changing lives in
Wow.
different ways. Tell us about yourself.
Wow. But Ruth, honestly, I don't like to talk about myself because sometimes I'm like, what do I even say? Where do I start from? But I would just say that, yes, I am a mom. I'm also a wife. I am, you can call me a media personality. I
Mhm.
also founded JDI, that's Jealous Development Initiatives, and it is a non-profit organization that advocates for blood donation, access to clean water in rural areas, and of course, mental health services to be provided. What else again about me? I'm also an audio producer. I think a lot of people don't know that side to me because that's where I make my money from. So I am
That's
yes, I am an audio producer and I produce different contents, or I produce various audio contents in different Nigerian languages for foreign organizations and, of course, local organizations as well. And yeah, so I think that's about it. That's about it for
wow.
me.
Amazing. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. So, people, you have heard it. This is Angela Ochubai, and she is not just a CEO, she's a mother of two beautiful children. Hi, Aiden. We've been missing Aiden and say it.
Honestly, I locked them. I locked them in the room.
Please, they have to say hi at some point.
Oh goodness me! I locked them in the room. So they're watching a particular movie right now and having some snacks while we can have this time without any distraction. So they are doing
Okay.
well. They
Okay,
are.
beautiful. Thank you
Yeah.
so much once again. So, we're going to dive in
Thank
quickly into our discourse for today. So, juggling career and parenting.
you. Okay.
The first question I want to ask is it a friend or a foe for a mother to be married with children and your heart just wants to be with your kids, but there is that calling and purpose, which is not just being a mother, that has to happen outside the space of the home? How does it feel to
Mm.
be pulled apart in different directions? What does it feel like for you?
Wow. Okay, so to answer this question, I have to kind of like step back a bit and give maybe this background. I feel that it is the reason why we tend to have these questions a lot, like, okay, how can we be this and be that and be all of this, is because of what we have already been told over a period of time from when you grew up, being a child. It's what we've been made to think that it is not possible, to have all of these things at the same time. So that's something I just want to put on the table. Another thing is that I have always said that when you look at a human being, God created us with so much inside of us, so
Mhm,
much where, I mean, we were created in God's image, right?
mhm,
So
mhm,
sometimes when I hear when people look at human beings and think that this is all about them, just one
mhm,
aspect. I'm like, I
mhm,
think you're insulting God because God
mhm,
could not have created you as a human being. And you think one part of you is all there is about you. I personally do not think so. So I
mhm.
feel that a human being, so I would say stuff like before I became my kid's mom, right? I was I was a wife to my husband. Before I became a wife to my husband, I was a child to my parents. Before I became a
Exactly.
child to my parents, there was Angela. The issue
Mhm,
is, who is Angela? Angela is someone that would always run through all of these things, all of these aspects. So when you now make it look like, or when people make it look like, um, you're being drawn to different places. I don't see it that way. I don't think you're being drawn. I just feel that is the whole of you. It's like a pizza. A pizza could be, cut in different pieces and you kind of like share it. So can we look at ourselves like as a pizza, and it's like this part of the pizza is Angela the mom, this is Angela the wife, this is Angela the entrepreneur, this is Angela. Why can't we look at it that way? Maybe if we
wow.
see it that way, it wouldn't be such a complicated thing.
Wow. This is amazing. I'm going to forever see pizza in my
Pizza in
mind
a different way.
every time we talk about this. This is so, so amazing. I like this analogy of the pizza. So there's one whole pizza, but there are different pieces which could go into
Yeah,
the mouth of different people, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
it
your
can.
life could have been put together to bless and be a blessing to
Yes,
different kinds of categories of
yes,
people and
yes,
sets of people. Beautiful. So, what is it like to be a mother and to have a career? Because trust me, the past 3 months for me has been a beautiful cruise. All I have to focus on is being a mother. It's
Mm,
tempting to just want to relax and just be a mother, even though you have to face work, there is a report waiting for you, and so on.
yeah.
What does it feel like? And how has your experience been so far?
Okay, so from the very beginning of the lockdown, I think
Okay, viewers. So I think that Angela has lost power, but I know that she's definitely going to join us soon. Okay, she's going to be back soon, and we're going to have her back again. So before Angela joins us again, I'm just going to talk a bit about how I'm spending my birthday. Hope you don't mind. Okay, okay. So we're going to be waiting for Angela to join us again, and then we will continue. So basically, I decided to dedicate this birthday to celebrate my mom. Okay, I really celebrate and I thank God for my father and my mother. My parents were really, really loving and amazing people, and they did a lot of work to make sure that they raised us as, functional human beings and so on. However, for some reason, my mother was the primary caregiver. And since we're talking about juggling career and parenting, she was a lecturer, a full-time lecturer who had to go to work and then pick us up from school, prepare our meals. And for most part of the days, we did not really have a house help because we could not afford it. Yes, Pastor Jerry, we're going to be seeing the cake at the end of the show. There's going to be a cake. So please, viewers, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere because you're going to help me cut my cake today. And you're going to sing a birthday song with me and say some prayers for my mom because I feel like every birthday, I just like always celebrate myself, my life, and what God has done in my life. And there'll be lots of pictures about me. But today, I decided to dedicate this beautiful day to the woman who bore me for 9 months, gave back to me, and took good care of me for a very long time, guys. My mom took care of me for a long time because I remember even when I got a job in Abuja and I would travel home and see her, she would hide some money in my bag. And when I get back to Abuja and I opened my bag, there it was. I'll see some money from her. And when I call her, I'm like, you don't have to do that. I'm supposed to be taking care of you. And she's like, don't give me that. I'm still your mom. Okay, so she did not just support me financially, my mom supported me emotionally. When I was doing my diploma, my mom would travel to Jos Town, Plateau, in Jos City. She would travel, and most times I would be sick. She would pick me up, take me to the hospital, get me some medication, and take me back to the class for my exams. This is just few out of so many things that this lovely woman has done for me. So this is why I'm celebrating her today. So good news, guys. Our guest is back in the house. Andy, welcome to
wow.
Nigeria.
Well, I've been in Nigeria for a while right now, and it's no, it has been crazy. It
I
has
know.
been crazy with with the power shortage. I mean, I've done like several other shows, and sometimes in the middle of it, the power just goes off and everything is crazy, but
Yeah,
we just need to make it work. So apologies,
exactly.
apologies
So,
now.
so go ahead, please. You were talking to us
Okay.
about the first question. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so for me, it was so I'm generally not okay, so I'm a very homely person. Like I like my space and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I don't I don't how do I say this? However, I don't really like to always be in the house.
Okay.
Right. And I think that there are different um, reasons why. How do I put this in a very light way? I like to go out and come back
Mm-hmm.
in. I know there are people that enjoy staying in the house all through, but I don't enjoy it. I sometimes would say that for someone like me, the house might not necessarily be a resting place for me, because when I'm back home, I'm doing a whole lot, and so I
Playing
like to
catch
I
up.
like to but yeah, so I kind of like to step out and do my work and then come back in and all of that. So during the lockdown from the very beginning, it didn't dawn on me what it was. I didn't even understand the impact of what it was going to do to me, but it got to a point where I was literally acting up. Like, I felt like I was going crazy. Um, and I felt like, okay, I was locked in this home that I couldn't go out to, mingle with other people the way I would normally do, or go to my office and everything. And so I couldn't do all of that. So
Yeah.
that got me very angry. There was a time I was angry, I was frustrated, and it wasn't just about me being angry and frustrated. The kids as well were equally, feeling everything. Everybody was wondering, okay, what is happening? And so it's like being like all this, I wouldn't call it negative energy, but all this energy, all in the same place, and it's like boom. So I didn't find it funny. So I had to still balance that out to, you know, get to the point where it hit me that, Angela, you have no choice. Like,
Mhm.
you are locked down, so deal with this. And when I got to that point where I was able to, deal with the fact that I would, be in the house for that long, I just started to find a way round my regular schedule. I know that it affected my sleeping, it affected my eating. Seriously, like, I lost appetite at some point. There were times I was eating
Wow.
unnecessary. There was time I was angry. I was just, all sorts of things were just affecting me. I did not know I had an issue with being told you can't go out of this place, or you
Yeah.
can't step out of this place. So
Yeah.
while some people found it very exciting, like, oh yeah, I'm sitting at home, I'm having fun and everything. No, I didn't. I didn't. I think it was the idea in my head that, Angela, you're stuck. You're stuck. You're stuck. You're stuck. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was how I was able to. That was how I felt during that
Yeah.
time. I'm not sure if I'm hitting at your exact question,
Yeah.
but that
The
was how I
question
felt.
is, yeah. So this is a very, very interesting discourse, because I know that it's been a lot of adjustments phase
Hmm.
for a lot of mothers and a lot of fathers. A lot of us are not really used to spending this much time without another adult interaction. You have a
Yes.
spouse, but when you've been together for 40 days and there's
It's
no new
like,
face or new
go
voice,
away.
I know it could get on you, especially if you're used to going out and interacting with people and all that. And I want us to move the discussion towards, how has it been for you? Like, having a career and taking care of kids, being a primary caregiver for your children, having to take care of them. How have you managed it so far?
Okay, so before the lockdown, I do have a nanny that comes in to assist me. So what happens is that she comes in by 12 noon, and then she leaves by 6 o'clock. So by
Mhm.
12, I mean, at that time we're not even in the house. The kids are still in school. So she would assist me with just basic cleanings and all of that. And then when I pick up the children, maybe like around 3 o'clock, depending if they've got lessons, we still come back home. And if I need to have a meeting, it depends on my schedule on that day. I could just drop them in the house with her and then rush back for the meeting and make sure I am back again in the house before 6 p.m. or 6:30. And I can't tell you how tiring it is looking at the time slot. So she was able to help, in assisting me with some of the home chores and some of the chores that I actually hate to do. I don't like to do them. So when the lockdown happened, she stopped coming in. So because everyone stayed at home, so she stopped coming in. So it meant that all of the stuff that she was helping me out with, the chores and everything, I had to
You
do
have to
them,
take care of that.
as well. And so that was part of also what was making me very angry. So I got very angry at the fact that I was doing those things that I really did not want to do. The issue for me was, or what got me angry was, I felt like I needed to do what I loved doing. If I'm doing what I love doing, right, I don't mind doing the other things I don't like doing. But when
Yeah.
I'm not doing what I love doing and I'm having to do stuff that I don't like to do, I tend to just get very upset. So that was
Mhm.
part of what was, getting to me. But interestingly, part of what I did as well was, okay, guys, I remember this time I said, wait, hold on. I'm not the only person in this house. We've got dad, we've got the kids. The other times that you guys just sit down and doing nothing, sorry, there's no person to assist right now.
Yeah.
Stand up, you pick that up, you're washing the dishes, you're cleaning this, you're cleaning that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, and that's, of course, to the kids, I mean.
Yeah.
And my husband too as well was very helpful too. So everyone started to pick up, to do some of the home chores, the things
Yeah.
that maybe dad might not want to do on a regular basis. Because I was also getting all worked up, you would probably assist as well, and the kids started to pick up. And I think that what it did for the kids was to also get them to appreciate, because I kept saying that, now you're doing these things. Remember what Auntie used to do. So that means you have to appreciate her for what she was doing. And the
Yeah.
fact that she was doing it and the fact that she
Yeah.
was being paid for it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you should outrightly just scatter the place, knowing fully well that, oh, somebody else is going to help, sort it out. So
Mm.
it was a learning curve. It was also me trying to get everybody everybody playing their part as well, while I was having to balance between the reality of what was happening to me. So that's on home chores. On the schooling aspects, Ruth,
Tell me, sister.
Ruth. I think for once I started to see, as in to all the teachers, like um, clapping
I
and
join
clapping for
you.
them, because
Yeah, we drop our caps for them.
because
Yeah.
it hit me that I can't. This is something I can't do. This is something I can't handle effectively. I mean, I was so um I was so shocked at how you would have to sit the kids down and teach them to do this and that. And when you've got kids in two different classes, because I've got one
Mm.
in grade 5 and the other one in grade 2,
Yeah.
your life is gone. Like, your life is gone completely. You can't
Mhm.
even do stuff, for yourself, because while this person is telling you about, I don't understand this, mommy, the other
Mhm.
one is telling me something else. So I'm moving back and forth, and I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, this is not
And they
funny
cannot
at
be in the
all
same room at the same time.
at the same time. And then when you place them next to each other, they're arguing with each other, they're talking. Oh gosh, it was like a nightmare. And
I
so
know.
I kept wondering. So people that are homeschooling their children, like I hear some
Mm.
mothers like, oh, they love homeschooling, they're good at it. I'm like, God, this is not me. I can't homeschool them.
Oh, wow.
And unfortunately, I must
Mm.
I must say that unfortunately, the school that they were going into, they were having some issues. So with COVID-19, it wasn't easy for them to kind of like move into the online system of teaching. While
Mm-hmm.
some other schools was, quick in doing that, my children's
Yeah.
school was not. They've not been able to juggle that, properly. So I had to
Mm.
now create a curriculum for my kids.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
Ruth, till today,
That
when I
is
think
tough.
about it, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not funny. I had to create like a structure. Okay, this is what we're going to do at this point in
Yeah.
time. I had a friend of mine who sent me a particular link online on how to get certain curriculums for the set for both of them. And then what even happened again, Ruth, was that so my
Yeah.
laptop now became everybody's laptop, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
my laptop was being used by the kids, and then the other. So it was just crazy. So I didn't even have my own space or my
Mm.
own things, to do. My phone was being used for one of the Zoom class. It was just crazy. So I said, you know what?
Mm.
I remember that one day I just got very angry. I just got upset and I walked straight to Spa and I decided to buy two separate, laptops for the kids. I mean, it was something that I would not have thought I would have done, but I did
Mm-hmm.
it, and I feel like that has actually helped because
Helped
now
you.
these kids have their laptops. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
research on their own.
Yes.
They're excited
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
They're when they do certain assignments and they're like, oh mom, what does this word mean? I'm like, check your online dictionary, and it's like, yay. So it kind of like reduces the stress on my
Yeah.
own part while
Yeah.
we're still together. So we're still
Yes.
together, but
Yeah.
this time
No.
they're focused.
Supervising. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
focused on their own systems. Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. So, how does one do all these things you've described and still have a
Mm.
report to turn in, or have a document to develop, or have a session to record, or do work? How can a woman like strike a balance?
Okay, so one of the things I say to myself is I try not to feel guilty when it is time for me to do work for me. When it's time for me to play my own to do my own thing.
Yeah.
I used to feel guilty before, but I stopped doing
Okay.
that. And part of the
Okay.
things I did was to speak to my kids. Sometimes I think children as well want to feel like they own their parents and everything about their parents should be centered around them. And I think
Yeah.
it's wrong. There are times I have to, tell my children that, this is my time. You're going to give me my time. This is what I need to do for me, and step back. And they know that when they get to that time, mommy is in her own world, and they let me be. And that's because
Yeah.
I had to create it for myself as well. And that
Mhm.
was me saying that I deserve, I deserve my own time to do things that wanted to do for myself. So, but one of the things I do is, so for example, I could have a contract or a project because my work with the audio production, it comes in. I mean, sometimes I get emails and it's like, oh, Angela, you need to do this, do that, and do that, and it helps me plan. So my regular work, let me just quickly explain, is I manage voiceover artists and I manage translators. So usually work is sent to me in English, and I manage, I get my translators to translate them into maybe 5 different languages, depending on what I'm required to do. And then when it's time for us to do the recording, we go into a studio and the voiceover artist will meet me there, and then we kind of like record. So because of the structure and the way the things are, it's easy for me to say, okay, I've got a recording at this particular time. And so my kids are aware of it. My husband is aware of it. Everyone is aware of the fact that I'm having to go out to do my recording. And that time
Mhm.
slot, is given to me. Or I
Yeah.
get, so they stay in the house. And my husband, of course, is there to watch them during that time slot. And I just try to make sure that I don't stay, too long. And when it's dragging and dragging, of course, I call him and I let him know that this is the reason why I'm staying longer than normal. So that is in maybe in the recording aspect. In the
Okay.
aspect of me having my slot to think creatively, and Ruth, this is where I would say that it's something that I've always, struggled with, which has affected
Mhm.
even my sleep. Um,
Mhm.
so I sleep very late. I
Mhm.
sleep very late. I'm even ashamed to
Mhm.
tell you when I sleep.
Wow.
I sleep late
Wow.
because in the daytime there's so many things happening. I'm sorting out the kids, I'm trying to sort out the house, I'm doing cooking, I'm doing cleaning. Those times don't work for me with creative thinking.
Tough.
So
True.
the time that works for me is when everybody is out,
Asleep.
quiet, the place is just, and that happens in the evening time. That is when I can think about strategy, I can think about writing, I can think about how to even reach out to the other people who have sent me emails, for example, and I haven't even responded to them. So my night time is when, should I say, the CEO brainstorming creative part of me pops out. And
Wow.
I'm always with my diary. I'm constantly writing. I'm always scheduling things out. I get a lot of requests like, oh, Angela, can you do this? Can you do that? What I do is I just check my diary. If there's a slot, if it's empty, if there's nothing down, I can place it there. But if there's something already there, I'll probably say, I'm so sorry, I wouldn't be able to handle it, so that I don't end up offending that person and
Yeah.
still, creating the balance as well. So that is, and so because of that, I don't
Mhm.
sleep too early. I sleep, I think the
Mhm.
earliest, oh my God, I feel ashamed of saying this, but the earliest I think I would ever go to bed, the earliest might be earliest, okay, maybe 12:30
Ha
in the
ha
midnight.
ha.
At
Okay.
earliest. That's
I'm
the
coming for
earliest.
you.
So, and so you can
Wow.
now imagine that this affects the timing at which I wake up,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not an early bird. My husband is he can wake up 5:30. I'm still sleeping. Like, don't even call me, wake me up in the morning. That is my time, to sleep. Yes. So let me
Yeah.
stop there.
Okay, wow, thank you. You have mentioned some very, very critical points, and I'm going to just highlight it quickly for our viewers. So, first of all, I've heard you say time management is really, really key. You've been able to phase your activities and you've studied yourself and you have been able to identify when you can do your creative stuff and you have just
Yeah.
created time for that. That is really one
Mm.
important key thing for us to pick up from what you've said. Secondly, I have heard you say mental health management. I need to create me time. I love it when you said that. Oh
My
my
time, like,
God. Moms, we don't belong 100% to our children. We are, first
no.
of all, human beings, individuals.
Mm.
And if we don't take care of our mental health, we're going to go on a rampage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you so much. I also like
Sure.
the idea of watching your commitments to
Mm.
ensure that you don't get into too much that you can handle.
Yeah.
So you keep a track of what you do and what
Yeah.
commitments you go into. So you have enough time for your family, enough time for me, and enough time for work. This is so
Yeah.
beautiful. Now you see why
Thank
I
you.
like very practical guests on the show. Thank you so much,
Telling you how it
Angela.
is.
It's been so
Thank you.
amazing. Now, I want you to talk to us about some systems that a woman can put in place. So, apart from having a nanny, what else? I know people refer to extended family if you have, or what other systems could you create that can give an opportunity to not just a mother, but even a father to rest? So,
Mm.
to have that me time. I know you
Mm.
talked about a schedule. Maybe you
Yeah.
might want to expatiate more on that. What are some systems that a parent can
Mm.
create that can make parenting easy for you so you have enough
Yeah.
time to even attend to career?
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's very important that in our parenting our children, that we instill in them the sense of responsibility in everything that they're doing. So my kids are raised, at least from my own end, I raised them up to be responsible for whatever it is that they're doing and to do whatever they need to do it well. So there's this thing I tell them, that there is no point in you, for example, being asked to do a particular chore and you just rush and just do it, and you mess everything up. Then I come into the picture to check it out, and then I'm shouting and screaming, "Why haven't you done this properly?" And then you still have to do it again. So I tell them that because you didn't do your work well, you end up making me scream and shout, which was not necessary. You get upset with me because it's like, oh, mommy shouted at me, right? And then you're still going to use another time slot again to repeat what you were supposed to have done from the very beginning. So I let them see that they are responsible for whatever actions that they're doing. Now, this, you see, when you're teaching kids this at the very beginning, it might be very tough, but you are building them up to release you from other things that you would end up having to do for them in the nearest future, because they become a bit mature, that I can handle this myself, right?
Yeah.
So that is on one hand, how you raise them is extremely important. On the side, the other thing again I do is people just, I don't know. I think there's that side of every woman that I don't know who put that on us. Like we want to be superwoman, we can handle everything, so that people would not look at us as if we're messed up in this area and that. And I always say, who sent us? Nobody sent us that particular job. So take whatever support that
Yeah.
has been lished out or given to you clearly from
Yeah.
people that you trust. So let me use myself as an example. I am
Okay.
fortunate to have both my parents in Abuja. I am
Mm-hmm.
fortunate to have my husband's parents as well in Abuja. I am fortunate to even have my my brothers-in-law in Abuja with their family as well in Abuja. And this gives me the opportunity to either, grandparents are always saying, okay, when are you bringing the kids? Even if they're not saying, when are you bringing the kids, I'm dropping them at your place at maybe during the weekend, right? So, so let
Yeah.
me say this. So my mother-in-law is always big on wanting to have the kids. Most times she's like, oh, bring the kids over and everything, and that's great. And I take advantage of that. My mother doesn't necessarily say bring the kids, but if I bring the kids to her, she doesn't have a
She
problem as
receives
well.
them. Yeah.
Yes, she
Yeah.
receives them. So why don't you take advantage of that? So I do take advantage of it. For example, if there's something that I need to, have done, then so that's my parents, and of course there's the aspect of the nanny. Then also the proprietress in my the proprietress of my children's school. She's just an
Mm-hmm.
amazing woman. And so her home is very close to the school, and her daughter also is in my kids in my daughter's class as well. So
Okay.
there have been times where I needed a slot of 1 hour. I was, let's say, I'm supposed to pick them up by 3 o'clock, and I'm still in a meeting, and I know that if I don't pick them up, the whole school will be waiting and everything. And she also asked me. She told me, she was like, Angela, if you need me to take them to my house to give you that
Mm-hmm.
1 hour slot so that you could come and
Mm-hmm.
pick them, that's fine with me. And I take that option when it comes. But you see other people saying, no, 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 it must be blood, it must be this. It doesn't really work like that for me, because I'm also looking at the person that she is. I'm looking at the age of my kids. I'm also looking at how I have raised them up and trained them on certain things. So every time I pick them up, then they're already telling me what happened. This is what happened, blah, 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 this and that. I do not. Oh, yeah. So another thing again I do is I encourage my children to talk. I encourage them to talk. I don't shut them down. And
Yeah.
this makes that even when they know that they have offended me, my kids
Mm-hmm.
know that they can come and talk to me about anything at any
Mm-hmm.
time. So this also gives me the confidence that even if I leave them for a period of 1 hour in a place, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not worried, because once I pick them up and I'm speaking to them, they will tell me exactly, what has happened. So I say, take whatever support that has been given to you. And of course, while you take the support, it doesn't mean that you relinquish your responsibility as a parent. It still
Mm-hmm.
means that it's just that during that time you are not with them. So when you come back with them, you should find
Mm-hmm.
out what happened
Yeah.
during that time.
Wow.
So, and that is what has helped me.
Wow, this is so amazing. So I have heard you say if you have extended family and it is a safe and
Take
healthy
it,
environment, take the children and take a
take
break.
it.
Okay. That is even for me. I think of an opportunity for the spouse and the parent, the mom and the husband to, boost and build their relationship stronger,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the healthy relationship between a father and mother is part of the very important things in creating a healthy
true,
environment for a child.
true.
So if you're always with the children and don't get to spend time together, I don't think it will do the children any good. I've also heard
Fair
you
enough.
say Please, when you're given an opportunity to leave your children with a responsible adult, take them up on that opportunity. So please, thank you so much for this advice. And honestly, I'm gonna open my eyes and start looking at people that create opportunities for me. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm in Lagos now, and apart from church, I don't really have family, so much
Mm,
family around here. So it's a bit tough and all that. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Angela. Thank you so much
Awesome.
for answering these questions. I don't know, is there anything you want to tell our viewers? Because we're heading towards
Hmm.
rounding off now and cutting the cake. So, what advice would you give mothers and fathers that are watching on how
Hmm.
to balance between their career and parenting? What should be the priority?
Wow. Hmm. Um, I think I would say, don't beat yourself too much. You see, um, nobody has it all sorted out. Nobody. Like we can look at someone and think, wow, nobody has everything sorted out. Everyone is going through different phases at different times. And in
Yeah,
each of their phases, they're struggling with something and they have
yeah,
strengths in certain areas. And
yeah.
if they don't learn the lesson that the process is taking them through, they would probably extend that phase of their life longer. Everybody is going through all sorts. So I say,
Mm,
as a parent, can you just leave leave everyone alone and look inwards and see what works for you and your family? What works
mhm,
for you and your family? That's on one hand. On the other hand, Ruth, I think that sometimes people look at life, how do I say this? I think people look at life as life is supposed to be perfect, it's supposed to be beautiful, all rosy and, all of that. And I say, no, life comes
mhm.
with mangoes, with bananas, it comes with apples, but guess what? It has agbalumo, it has lemons, it has lime, it has all of these things, mixed
The
up
very
together.
rugged fruits.
Yes, it has all of
Yeah.
these things mixed up together. So
Oh, that's right.
in your trying to
Mm-hmm.
balance,
Yeah.
I say this, Ruth, that balance would always be a struggle for me for the rest of
Mm-hmm.
my life. I'm going to have to
Mm-hmm.
struggle with the aspect of balance. I don't think I would
Mm-hmm.
ever get to a point where I would be, I have 100% balance because I
Mm-hmm.
would keep strong. And that's it. And balance is because of this pie, this particular
Mm-hmm.
thing might be going too far and this is going
Yeah.
way back. So you have to
Yeah.
struggle and push this. And the other one, you
Yeah.
have to struggle and push it. And so
Yeah.
that's a struggle for the rest of your life, knowing fully
Wow.
well that is life. And don't
Wow.
beat yourself too much. Don't beat yourself
Mm-hmm.
too much. When you need to rest, take that time to rest. When there's support coming your way, take it up. When you see certain things that you need to change or focus in relation to your kids, focus on it and sort it out. I say
Mm-hmm.
this, Ruth, that there's never a particular time. I've told this to my friends that why do we think that there's a particular time that we can teach about responsibility? Like, okay, guys, sit down. This is the time I'm going to teach you about responsibility. No. Or
Yeah.
this, no, there's, you don't have those times. It happens
Mm-hmm.
at different times. So if you're a deliberate parent and you see something and you spot it, hit on it, attack it,
Mm-hmm.
deal with it, then
Yeah.
move on. Instead
Yeah.
of you beating yourself too much, like, oh gosh, I can't believe this is happening to you. It's life. Life happens to each and every one of us. But have the courage to take on this life or these challenges that come your way, knowing fully well that everyone is struggling. Everyone is struggling. Nobody has it perfect. Nobody has it perfect.
Everyone.
And then calm down.
Yes, dear. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Jella in the house. Thank you.
Ah.
So, this brings us, guys, to the end of today's show. So, if you have a question for Jella, please put it in the comments and I'm going to read it out and then she's going to respond to the question. So, while we're waiting for questions, I'm going to call my cake crew. Hello,
Yay!
guys. Please bring the cake over. Ready? So my girls are gonna be joining me for this. Hey, Zoe and Michaela are here.
Hi, Zoe. Hi,
Hi,
Michaela. Good to see you.
Okay.
Wow.
Did you ask her how is Aideen and Sage?
They are locked in the room.
Please, do you want to bring Aideen and Sage out to help us cut the cake and sing the song?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. Yeah. Sage, Aideen.
Yeah. Dupa, please come and bring
Sage,
the cake.
Aideen. Oh, goodness.
Okay. Yeah.
So, hold on. Let me see.
Mommy, can you put the candles?
No, Mommy, you told me to put the candles.
Yeah, the candles.
Sage and Aideen, guys, quickly come, come. Come. They want you in the show for you to say hi. They want to cut a cake. And I want you guys to be a part of it. Yay! Okay. So that's it. I'm going to try to disconnect from
Okay, so let's see if these candles will come up. So do you guys want to start singing the birthday song?
Okay.
Hi, Aideen and Sage.
Come here.
How are you guys?
Go around.
Yeah, you can see
Can we hear you?
Okay.
We're
Can you hear
trying
me
to
now?
light the candles. Bring matches for me.
Okay.
Okay.
This one take a long while.
Bring the light. Yeah.
Please.
Okay, so
Please.
let's sing
When
the
you
birthday
get-
song.
Happy birthday to
Mommy
you.
Angela, do you want to lead?
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Birthday
you.
to you. Happy birthday, dear mommy. Happy birthday to you. For she's a jolly good fellow.
But she's a jolly good friend. Jolly good
Okay, are you guys saying it?
friend.
Hooray!
Thank you. Hooray! Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry. All right. So thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna blow out my candles. This candle that has refused to come up. Okay, so I'm supposed to make a wish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you. Thank you. Okay, so let's cut the cake, guys. Let's spell parenting. Give me a P. Give me an A. Give me an R. Give me another A. Give me an N.
And
Give me a T. I-N-T. Happy birthday to me. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Okay, so end the cake. Thank you, Angie. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye. Okay, viewers, this brings us to the end of our show for today. So, Like I said, we're celebrating my birthday today with my girls. This is Zoe. Zoe, say hi.
Hi.
And this is Michaela. Michaela, say hi. And today we are celebrating my mom for everything she did, raising me and all that. Thank you so much for joining me to celebrate my birthday. If you're just joining us, I will send you the cake. Thank you guys. Bye. See you at the next show.